Hello everyone, my name is Sarah and welcome back to my project play / now it is also my updates on my no buy for this year. So if you were here last time, I'm sure you know that I started a project play but I never really finished it. That was mostly because of my living situation. I had to move out, I had to find a new apartment. It was all a big mess, but I have somewhere to live now. We're in a new apartment. It's just Chris and I in one bedroom and I'm very excited about it. My hair is much longer than it was the last time you saw me. I had a little update video, but I'm sure lots of you didn't see that. So now, yeah, I have neon yellow hair. It's starting to grow out. Lots of things are different and I'm very excited. But since it's just him and I in an apartment now, it means I will be able to film a lot more and I'm very excited for it. So this year, I'm going to be doing, like I said, an updated version of my project play and also a no buy in with that, because the no buy is just gonna, updates are just gonna be, did I buy anything? Yes, no, hopefully the answer is no. The no buy is going to run all through 2022 and December, which is kind of when I'm opening this up. I bought all the games I'm going to buy, so I started actually doing this kind of in November. I think I bought my last game last month actually, before November even started. So I haven't been buying games for a little bit now, but I'm gonna continue buying no games up until the end of 2022. So it'll be hopefully 2023 before I buy any more video games for myself. I'm not really going to ask anybody for video games for Christmas this year. Maybe next year I'll be a little more antsy, but this year my goal really is to pan my eyeshadows, to pan my games. So as you can tell by my slip up, this project is based off of the project panning community, who are mostly eyeshadow users, and some people do other like makeup style stuff. So Project Pan was created by, I believe, someone named Alexis, and I will find their links and leave them down below. I took the Project Panning series that I love to watch on YouTube, and I tried to adapt it for video games because that is my big thing that I spend a lot of money on, that I'd like to maybe spend less money on, hence the no buy, but also something that I buy a lot of and I don't use as much as I would like to. So the goal for this project is to finish my games. And when I say finish, I have this weird system where I convert the number of dollars I spent on a game into hours, and that's how many hours I would like to play these games for. So I didn't include all of my video games, just the ones that I'm happy with the purchases of. So there are some games excluded, the ones that I just have no interest in playing, were washes, just things that maybe I played once but I don't want to pick up again. So this project only includes the games that I'm like really hype about, that I want to keep playing. Some of them are story games, but ones that I'd be willing to play over and over again kind of thing. So yeah. So in total I have 36 games included in this project. And so far I have panned, so if it was an 80-hour game, I've played it for 80 or more hours. If it's a $35 game, I've played it for 35 or more hours. That's what I consider a pan in this project. So I have panned 11 games so far, which means my pan percentage is 30.56, and I'm hoping to get that by the end of this year to 100%. Which if you're coming from the Project Fan series, I'm sure you'll think is absolutely ridiculous. But these are video games, so hopefully I can get those going. There are a couple games that are multiplayer that I think are going to be much harder to do. So like I have Jackbox, so that's going to be really weird to try and get up. A Super Mario Party is going to be a little bit weird. All my multiplayer games, I'm going to have to maybe try and get some people from work and some friends over and invite them over to play games with me more often, but maybe it will make my social life a little better. We'll see about that. But I'm gonna go over the games that I have already panned for the beginning of this, and then we'll talk about Animal Crossing, specifically. So the first game I have panned is Animal Crossing, which I bought for about $80, and I played it for 670 hours. So I have a specific goal for Animal Crossing, and that is to play it for 1,000 hours. As you can see, I played it for a lot of hours already, and I know some people have played Animal Crossing for 1,000 hours like in the first couple months. Obviously, I'm not one of those people. I play still. Like, I haven't stopped playing. I maybe stopped playing for like a month, a week, however long, but I'm pretty consistent with playing that game. It's one of my favorites, obviously. I mean, it's something I just love to pick up. So I'm hoping to get it to 1,000 hours before the year is done, and that's my goal with Animal Crossing, but it has been officially panned. But that's my secondary goal for this project. So the next game I have panned is Bug Fables. So Bug Fables is maybe I shouldn't do this with all of them, but I'll explain the games that I've panned at the very least. Bug Fables is a 2D RPG style game in the style of Paper Mario, but you play as little bugs. It's very cute, and I would really recommend it. I only played this once through, so the full campaign is about 40 hours. I do a lot of stuff in my campaigns. I'm kind of a perfectionist. I like to get everything. So if you are like me and you like to get absolutely everything, 40 hours is what you can expect with one playthrough of Bug Fables, so I highly recommend it. Very worth the money, great game. The next game I have panned is a game I got for free. So if you play on the Switch like me, you'll know that when you buy games you get like credit, and you can use that to buy games. So sometimes I buy like really cheap games with that credit. So one of them I got is called Ding Dong XL, which sounds stupid, but it's a little mobile style game, but it's on the Switch, and it's just like you're trying to avoid obstacles. It's cute. You can play it multiplayer, which is pretty fun, but it was free, so obviously I panned that. But I actually played it for like 5 hours, and it's just like a little mobile style game. I used to play it when I didn't have storage on my Switch. I now have, I don't even know how much I put in, but like 60 gigabytes maybe, I don't know. Anyway, I put a lot of gigabytes into this baby, but for a while I didn't have that, so I was just running off the like 30 gigs the Switch has in its internal storage. So I would have to delete and download games a lot. So whenever I would download games and be waiting for something to download, I would play that game. So I'm probably not going to play it a lot, but it's good. It's very cheap. It was like $1 or $2. I got it for free, like I said. So I panned that. Then we have Forager. So Forager cost me $30, and I've played it for 65 hours. So Forager is it's a game where you play a little dude with a pickaxe, and you go around and you kind of colonize the world. That's a terrible way of explaining it, but all I can think about is the video essay I watched on YouTube about how a lot of games are like similar to Colonization, where you're like going around stealing resources from lands that aren't yours, and they mentioned Forager, so that's always what I think about. It's a very interesting video essay. If I remember and can find it, I'll put the links in the description. Forager is a game where you buy new lands, you mine for resources, there's little mini games and stuff, there's dungeons. I guess there's not really mini games, but there's like little puzzle areas, there's dungeons. I don't know if I can really explain it. Hopefully I'll put some pictures of what the game looks like up here. But it's very good. As you can see, I played it for 65 hours. It's really fun. One day I'll probably get back into it and stream it, hopefully. The next game I have panned is Graveyard Keeper, which I actually want to play a lot more of, even though I've technically panned it. I've never finished the game. I got really close, but I haven't finished it. It's a very long game. So it's $25. I have played it for 25 hours. I want to get back into it and play it a lot more, so hopefully we'll have maybe doubled it by the time I'm actually like done with the game, if I'm ever done with the game. but you play as a graveyard keeper who finds himself in a strange land. You're trying to get home. It's very like gross. You're how do I explain this? You take the bodies of the people you're supposed to dig in graveyards and you dissect them and you take their skin and make it into paper. And you sell their meat to the villagers for money. That's the kind of game it is. It's very fun. It reminds me a lot of another game on this list. Oh yes, Don't Starve, which I haven't panned yet. But it reminds me a lot of like a morbid version of Don't Starve. So if you're into morbidity, you might really like Graveyard Keeper. The next game I've panned is Little Big Workshop. So Little Big Workshop is a workshop management game, as you could probably tell. So you run this little workshop that looks like it was built by a guy making figurines. It's very cute. So you put in these little elf dudes and they come to life, and you buy construction machines and you order projects to be done and you hire workers, that kind of stuff. It's a very good little workshop manager. The only issue I have with it, and I think I've talked about this on the channel before, is that when you get a really big workshop, it tends to lag out on the Switch. Like the Switch seems to not be able to run it as well. But I found if you just saved, exited the game and went back into it, it was fine. But like if you play for a couple hours at a time, like I tend to do with these games, with a really big workshop, it starts to stutter. So keep that in mind. But I really liked the game. I found it really fun, obviously. And again, it's another game I would get back into for sure. The next game I've panned is Monster Prom. So Monster Prom is a horny dating simulator where you are trying to go to prom with legally adults, because it's marketed for adults, so they make all the characters that are at least 18, like the youngest is an 18-year-old, the oldest is like 25, but they're like monsters and you're trying to court them and go to prom with them, with a series of wacky shenanigans. It's based on stats. You gain stats as you move around the map. It's very like dating sim that you can also play with your friends. I'm really hoping to play it on my Twitch stream, which is also at SarahSaysHello on Twitch, with some other streaming friends I have. But I'm really excited to start doing Monster Prom streams. It's so fun. So I'm definitely going to keep playing that, and hopefully we'll double that one too. But it's very weird and quirky and horny. There's a sequel out, Monster Camp, but I don't think it's on the Switch yet, which means I can't buy it for a year. Anyway, that might be the first game I get after I do this project. But I shouldn't think about that because it's not even on the Switch and I can't buy anything for a year. So it's a very good game, and I don't have all the endings yet, and I'm very excited to try and get some endings, play on Twitch with some friends, just kind of make it my social game. The next game I have that I've panned is Project Highrise. So it's another management game. I love management games. As you can probably tell, this is the second one on the list that I've already panned. So Project Highrise, you build a high-rise. So instead of just managing the high-rise, you are also building it. So you're hiring people to physically build the building. You're deciding which kind of units go in it, if you want to make it a commercial space primarily, or a residential area, where you want to have like workspaces and that kind of stuff. You put in plumbing, electric, hydro, all that kind of stuff. You have to make sure you have enough of it. Every different thing you put in requires different stuff. So some people require garbage, some people require recycling, some people want like copy machines, that kind of stuff, and you have to put those in and make sure you are meeting the demands while making as much money as possible. Capitalism Simulator 101, but it's very, very in-depth. It doesn't have the lag problems that something like Little Big Workshop has. It's very like 2D, it's like cut into the building kind of art style, but it's very detailed. If you love just like that kind of really nitty-gritty management simulator, you're really gonna like this. It's very good, and I should get back into it at some point. The next game I have is Stardew Valley, so I'm sure most of you already know what it is, but if you happen to not know what it is a farming simulator based off of Stardew Valley. Oh, that's the name of the game. Sorry, it's based off of, what's that called? Harvest Moon. It's based off of the old Harvest Moon games. It's a 2D farming simulator, like I've said. You get to know your neighbors, and you farm crops, and you make money, and you can get a partner and a child. Not that I've ever gotten that far in this game. And I find the start of the game a lot more fun than the middle of the game. Eventually you just make so much money, and it's like, I'm not a capitalist. Like, I don't need to make $10,000 a day. Like, $2,000 a day is plenty of money for me, thank you. Like, I just you know, like, I like the game, and I think it was made by one person. It's a really good game and people love it, but I don't think I'm probably gonna get back into it at any point this year, or kind of ever. I think I'm kind of done with the game. So if I didn't say, it was $20 with tax. It's cheap, you should buy it. And I played it for 65 hours, so very worth the money. I know people who played it for hundreds of hours, thousands of hours. Like, people love this game. It's very good. It's just, I don't find it as rewarding in the mid-game because I'm not someone who's super money focused in my games. Like, I'm just not motivated in real life that way, or in games. It just doesn't do anything for me personally. You know what I mean? But it's a really good game, and I highly recommend it if you have played Animal Crossing and you don't know what to play. Stardew Valley is everybody's next go-to, and people really love it. It's really good. The next game I have panned is, Spiritfarer. Oh, this is the game I would recommend you play after Animal Crossing. Like, right away. Spiritfarer is so good. So Spiritfarer is a game about death. You play as the Spiritfarer who is there to ferry spirits onto the afterlife. So you have to help them with their last requests. You have to basically help people deal with their deaths. And these people take the form of anthropomorphic animals that are based off of their personalities. You have to help them cope with who they were in life, and comfort them upon their death. And it's a really beautiful game, and it's also a lot of fun. There's fishing mechanics. You are on a ship, so you travel around the seas. You get resources, you grow crops on your ship, you have sheep on your ship, you meet a lot of interesting characters. It's very character focused, but there is a good amount of stuff to do and like gameplay. There's mini games there's like fishing whole thing. It's one of the best. I don't like fishing in games like ever, and I don't particularly like this fishing in the game either. But it is my favorite fishing mini game style thing that I've ever had. Like, better than Animal Crossing's for sure, better than Graveyard Keepers by like miles and miles. But yeah, you can do a lot of things. It's very resource management kind of a game. All of the resource management have mini games attached to them. They're pretty fun. It's very character focused, but there's a lot of also gameplay elements that make it actually just fun to play. It can be lighthearted and funny and sad. It's just a really beautiful, very long story game. So it was $25. I played it for 40 hours, and that was one playthrough. I've only played it once, and it was 40 hours. So it is very worth your money. It's absolutely beautiful. It might be my favorite game. Sorry to my last favorite game, but it's really good. You know what? It is my favorite game. I'll say it. It's my favorite game. Spirit Fair, excellent. 10 out of 10. Recommend. Play it. The next game we have on the list that I've panned is Dicey Dungeons. I bought it for $20. I've played it for 20 hours. I want to play a lot more of it. Hopefully we'll have that doubled this year. A lot of these I'm like, I'm going to double it. Probably Spirit Fair too, because I want to play that on Twitch. I'm going to play all these games on Twitch at some point. So if you want to see any of these, just, you know, let me know. I have a Twitch. You can follow me there. Dicey Dungeons is a strategy puzzle kind of a game. You play as various different dice of different types who have different ways of why am I so bad at explaining Dicey Dungeons? Dicey Dungeons is a dungeon crawler. So it's a little 2D cute game. It has a lot of dice mechanics. So there are, I think, 6 characters you can play as, and they each have their own mechanics built into them. So traditionally in the game, you would roll a number of dice, and you would use those dice in cards. You have a backpack filled with equipment, and you use your dice to use that equipment to attack enemies. They attack you back. There's a lot of different modes. There's different characters which have different ways of being played, and so those would be your different modes. And it's kind of like a slow-paced puzzle dungeon crawler, and it is really good, but I'm having such a hard time explaining it, so I'm just gonna move on. But it's very good. Look it up. Yeah, it's good, but I can't explain it. And that seems to be it. Those are all of the games that I've panned so far. So, like I said, the only one that I've panned that I have goals for, technically, are Animal Crossing, which I want to get to 1,000 hours. I have 25 unpanned games. And I'm not going to really do any focus games this month. I might start doing focus games next month and like really hone in on them. But for now, I'm just going to keep playing my games and try and focus on the games that I haven't panned yet. Some of these games are definitely, like I said at the beginning, going to be harder to pan than others. The multiplayer games especially are going to be weird. But I am very hopeful for this project because I'm not going to be buying any new games. I can focus on the ones I have. I have Ace Attorney, which I picked up the trilogy and the new game. Those are going to be together because I bought them in a bundle for $80. So at some point when I start playing those games, we'll see how many hours I get out of each of those. But I'm going to play those on stream at some point. So that's going to be kind of my game for when I really have the urge to play something new. I can pick up Ace Attorney. Also, side note, above me we have the book I'm reading right now, which is over here. It's called, oh yes, 1,000 Pieces of You. So this is the book I'm currently reading. It's a trilogy, so soon I'm going to be reading the rest of them. And it's like a little romp through the multiverse. It's a romance novel. It's also about the multiverse, evil corporations. It's good. It's a good book. I really like it. I have all 3 now. I finally got the 3rd one from my mom for Christmas last year. But I haven't read it yet, so we're gonna read the first one, then the second, third. You know how it goes. I'm about halfway through it. We also have Lily up here that I painted myself, by the way, and Freya. Also, all my paintings I paint myself. Most of the art in this apartment is just mine. I guess all the art in my apartment is also in a box right there. But yeah, so Ace Attorney is gonna be really good for when I feel the urge to buy a game. Dead Cells is almost done, so maybe I'll pick up that. But I have a wide range of games. Metopia I'm going to play a lot of. Hopefully that will be done soon. I know I'm going to be focusing on that a lot. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. And I think the updates for this are going to be every month. and I'm just going to go over the games that I've played the most, what has the most movement. We'll talk about the games as they come up. I'll explain what they are, like I said, as they come up. But that's most of it for now. But I guess I should explain, because I didn't do this earlier, why I'm doing a no-buy. So if you've been here a while, you will be able to see my no-buy videos that I did last year. So I started a no-buy last year. That failed miserably. At some point I was like cocky and I was like, I think I'm good now. I think I've figured out how to not buy games as much. No, I bought a bunch of games as soon as I ended that project. So, since clearly I cannot control myself with games, we're going to start the no-buy again. I'm going to be more strict about it this year. I'm not going to buy anything. I'm not going to let myself be tempted. I'm just going to, you know, try my best. So what I've learned from trying to do this last year was I need to not go on the Play Store, like, at all. I cannot look at new games, which is kind of hard because the Switch has the Play Store. You can't get this Play Store off of your main menu, so it's kind of always there. And if you want to re-download games, you have to go through that, which I think was a big struggle for me, because last year I did not have a I didn't have an SD card. So I didn't have all my games downloaded, so every time I needed to re-download something, I'd have to go through the Play Store and see all of their deals. So that was tricky, but I have them all downloaded now, like everything in my project, everything that I play pretty much at all, or have any interest in playing at all, I have downloaded straight onto my Switch, so I don't have to go to the Play Store for any reason. So I'm not gonna go to the Play Store for any reason. Somebody told me there was a Black Friday sale, and I was like, nope, not interested, not doing it. So I'm just gonna try and be interested in the games I have. Like I said, I have 25 games that I haven't panned, and I would just like to get more use out of the games I have. I feel like I'm really neglecting some games that I love. Some games remain unfinished on my Switch that I really like. And I don't need more games, and especially the games that I was buying, a lot of them I didn't even like. Like, it was just bad impulse control. And so this year, hopefully I can just use what I have more. I'm hoping this Project Pan, doing the no-buy updates with the Project Pan, will help keep me on track. Or this Project Play, I guess is what I'm calling it, will help keep me on track, will help me feel like everything's new and interesting. I've already made a spreadsheet of how to, since I stream on Twitch, I made this whole spreadsheet of like when to introduce new games so that I could have new games being introduced pretty much weekly or bi-weekly on my Twitch channel. So there's always going to be new things to play, and it's going to be like interesting and fresh and new all the time, despite not buying any games. And yeah, hopefully I'm just going to focus. I'm going to this year try and focus just on playing the games I have, enjoying what I have, and I can spend my money in other ways. So I spend a lot of money on games, which can now be spent on buying things for this apartment I now have, or music, or food, or whatever else I have going on that I'd maybe like to focus on this year instead of games. So I'm very excited for that, and I will see you all next time. Also, I'm back, baby. Hopefully I'll make a lot more content. I am planning on restarting my Project One, or I guess updating my Project 100 uses. I was going to do makeup today, but I couldn't find my makeup brushes, so hopefully I find those soon. And I'm just going to try and make videos about whatever the fuck I feel like making videos about this year. So look forward to that. If you have any ideas of things you want me to talk about, leave them into the description. I'm hoping that I can start doing videos about learning new stuff, clothing videos. Like, I think it would be really fun to do trying to style clothes that I haven't worn in a while, that kind of stuff, trying to get use out of the clothes I have. And yeah, hopefully this year I actually make videos consistently the whole year. That is my goal. number 2, I guess, because project play is a goal, project 100 uses is a goal. I have lots of goals this year, but making content regularly for Twitch and YouTube is one of them. I guess updating my Instagram on the regular should be another one. But anyway, I'm gonna stop talking. Thank you all for watching. To the person who told me they missed my videos and wished I would make more, here you go. I hope this was long enough to entertain you during work. I'm back, baby. We're gonna hopefully start making videos every week, maybe at least once a month is the main goal. I guess twice a month, because project play and project 100 uses, and then hopefully I'll find something else to do for the other 2 weeks of the month. And yeah, hopefully everything goes good. I have a new apartment. I need to stop. This intro is a million years long. Like and subscribe, and follow me at SarahSaysHello on Twitch, because that's where I'm going to be playing all these games. And Twitch is how you get to my Discord. I have a whole Discord, but you can't access it unless you go to my Twitch, because it's for Twitch people, because we talk about games and shit, and I don't want random YouTube people going on to my Twitch. It's just a way to control who actually gets into the Discord, unless I know you in real life and you watch my channel, in which case you could just message me and I'll link you to the Discord if you want to join it. Anyway, follow me on Twitch, like, subscribe, all that shit. Watch other videos I've made if you want. They're very old and I do not have this hair. Bye.